Here we have a story about school safety, and there's an interesting twist to this as well. It's a huge question about whether or not the school can or should issue consequences. Let's look at this. Arizona family sues after student suspended for threat joke that was typed but never sent. Is a threat real if it's never made? That's the question at the center of a lawsuit filed by the parents of an Arizona student who was suspended under his school's threat and intimidation policy over a joke he made at home. The family's attorney said the issue at hand is an email the Marana High School student was drafting to a teacher on a school-issued laptop. We're going to come back to this part right here. A school-issued laptop while his mother was watching. Wow. That's wow. He started by messing around with joke messages. Aaron Ballman of Arizona State University's First Amendment Clinic told News 92.3. See, we're going to come back to this, but messing around, threatening, that sounds like somebody who is a supporter of this student and wants this student to wants that suspension rescinded. Like when you use words like messing around. Well, okay, let's get back to this. What did the Arizona student do to get suspended? The first joke he typed was, Mr. I want to date your sister. His mom said, hey, delete that. He deleted it. The second joke he typed was, skibbity toilet, my grade is in the toilet. She said, delete that, Ballman explained. Now, again, I can tell this guy is a supporter of the student. He's trying to minimize. The student's just messing around. It's okay. It's a little joke. It was the third joke. Gang, give me a better grade or I'll shoot up the school, homie. Gang, give me a better grade or I'll shoot up the school, homie, that caused the trouble thanks to an artificial intelligence program installed on the computer to monitor activity. All right, so I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump in now because I understand this. I understand the program that was monitoring the activity, and he could have been typing this in a Word document. He could have been typing it in a Word document and erased it. Still, the program would have picked it up and it would have sent an email to the administrators at the school. And for things that are really high level like this, like threatening school safety, that's going to be sent to the superintendent and other people in the superintendent's office. So that's what happened. That's what happened. And it's not, I think the thing here is, is a threat real if it's never made? He was messing around, typed it in an email, but didn't send the email. No, you are on a school-issued laptop that has the program on there, and this program is really good because it really helps. It brings to attention if a student is having trouble with mental health, potentially going to harm themselves. It empowers the school to be able to see that, monitor that, and let the parents know that, hey, you need to check on your child. I've myself have made calls like that to parents to let them know, hey, I'm concerned about your child. These are some of the things that they've typed in a Word document, not even an email sent, but they've typed those words. And that's the way the program works. So to me, I mean, I don't need to read anymore. You're on a school issued laptop. You are typing things that can be perceived as violent, as threatening. Gang, give me a better grade or I shoot up the school, homie. That's not funny. That's not funny. I don't know what your mental status is at that point that you're typing this into a school issued laptop. I don't know what you're thinking, but this is not funny. It needs to be taken seriously. I don't know what this kid's family expects to accomplish with the lawsuit. I'd see it as you're wasting money. According to the Associated Press, thousands of districts across the country use this software to monitor the online activities for signs that kids might hurt themselves or others. Educators say the technology has saved lives, but critics warn it can criminalize children for careless words. What's important here is that no, it's a school related device. I'm sure you probably have your own phone. You can mess around on your own phone. Probably have you can mess around on your own personal device. And before the school year starts, every student understands that that's not their personal device, and eyes are watching you if you type certain things on the device. Students know that. They know that. What's important here is that the student didn't send this email to anybody at the school. The school only knew about it because of this AI surveillance. Oh, see, there we go. See there. See, I told you that this person was an advocate for the student. I could tell because it immediately minimized his decision making by stating, "I was just messing around with joke messages." And what's his university First Amendment of the First Amendment clinic? No, that is a that's a school issued device. It's a school issued device. You cannot do that. What happened after it was flagged? Contacted the parents. The boy's mother explained she was there at the time, that he was clearly joking around. As soon as the principal of the school talked to the student's mom, she knew that there was no threat there, Bowman said. That's where the line is drawn, is where there is no threat there. The school can't suspend a student for speaking at home in a way that had no impact on the school. Well, you're on a school issued device. And it's going to be really interesting to see what the courts say here. If they take up the case, if it makes it to the Supreme Court, possibly. Students are often punished and even can face legal action for making threats, even as a joke. It's not funny, and students need to understand that. In this case, the Marana Unified School District decided that just typing a joke threat warranted punishment under its zero tolerance policy. Yes, like, who outside of this kid's family would disagree with that? The principal called the family back and said the boy was being... You're darn right. Absolutely. 10 days in a hearing. That's what he's getting. It's 10 days, and I guarantee you, yes, you're getting more than 10 days. You're gonna be suspended for 10 days. During that time, we're gonna have a hearing to determine how many more days beyond 10 you are being suspended. That is what happened to this student, and that is exactly what this student deserved. At this long-term suspension hearing, the student was really lectured by the school district that it's just not okay to talk about this, with no acknowledgement that the student was at home with his mom and that this speech didn't affect the school at all, the advocate said. The final punishment ended up being a 45-day suspension. You know what? I like that. I like that. That sounds good to me. You're going to be out of school for a quarter of the school year. I like that. Probably didn't have any prior discipline or any problems like this. A quarter of the school year. Yes, I like that. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? He's still going to be able to continue his education. I'm sure they have an alternative location where he can go, continue his education, keep his grades up, keep up with the rest of the class. And after he's served his suspension, you're free to come back to school, hopefully wiser. I like it. I think they did everything right. They called mom. Hey, is everything okay? Mom said, yeah, everything's good. Principal probably chatted it up with the rest of the assistant principals. Probably not. Maybe even the super. They just went straight to the superintendent. Hey, what? This is what I'm thinking. What are you thinking? Yeah, that's 10 days in a hearing. That's a threat on a school issued device. You cannot do that. That's not funny. And that student and the rest of the students need to understand that it's not funny and you can't do that. They didn't distinguish between what he did and what would be an actual threat that put students' lives and safety at risk. Man, this advocate boy, wow. You know what? Whatever they paid this advocate, he's earning his money. He's working it. He's trying. So they're working the First Amendment angle here. And this is going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The lawyer and his clients think the punishment is unreasonable and are questioning if the students' rights were violated. Wow. What about the rights of the other students, the teachers and staff members to attend and work at a school and feel safe? They're clearly not thinking about that. We don't claim that the school shouldn't have acknowledged receipt of this notification from the AI software and then called the mom, talk to the student, realize there was nothing there, and maybe talk to the student about appropriate use of technology. See, that happens when the students are issued the school handbook. And parents, they also receive that as well. The code of conduct, they call it different things, but families are aware of things that could result in loss of privileges, suspension, etc. Parents and students know that. They know that. So what they were expecting is just a stern talking to, and that be the end of it. Absolutely not. No, you cannot use a school issued device and type those things into that computer that's not your computer and just mess around. And you know what, for the parents, like, what are you thinking? Like, parents, that you should have been the one to tell the student, hey, knock that off. Do you realize that's a school issued device? You don't do that. You don't joke around on that device like that. Because I guarantee you the parents understand, like, on their work laptop, they're not, certain things they're not going to do. Like, adults get it. And there were adults in the room as this student was doing that. So the advocate says all of that would have been reasonable. No suspension. So this is definitely going to be watching this one closely to see if what is ultimately decided here. And possibly, I don't know, could this make its way up to the Supreme Court? I'm school law. I'm very, very interested in these types of cases. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about this situation? Did the district overreact in giving the 45-day suspension? Or do you agree with me that the student got exactly what he deserved for messing around on a school-issued device? I want to hear from you in the comments section. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next update.